After a day riding local trains through Yamaguchi Prefecture, I'm in the city of Iwakuni, on my way to see one of the world's great wooden bridges. Arigato. Good morning, I'm still Jeremy. It's just after 9 a.m. and there it is. I'm in Iwakuni, Japan, and here's the big bridge. I'm doing a little bit of exploring today of some of Iwakuni's biggest sites. The biggest site, of course, is this famous bridge, one of the most famous bridges in the world, certainly in Japan, the 5-span wooden bridge from the 1600s. Also, if you walk over the bridge, which everybody's doing, which I'll be doing soon, up there is a castle, Iwakuni Castle. And it also has a history even longer, but even dodgier. It's been raining in Iwakuni, and this is the first day. It's finally cleared up a little bit, still cloudy and moody, but at least I can get out here without rain. And I've been worried that this place was going to be swamped with tourists and the buses were going to be hard to find or hard to find seats on and stuff. And it's just harder to film when there's a lot of tourists, but the bus I got this morning, I was the only person on it from the city center to here. Anyway, let's walk across this bridge and see what it's all about. Oh, you gotta pay first. For 970 yen, you can get a ticket that gives you access to the bridge and includes the ropeway and entrance to the castle on top of the mountain. Hi. これはこれとここに帰りますね。はい。ありがとうございます。Cool, here we go. One of the best walks in Japan because you have to come here and see this bridge. The bridge is called Kintai, which means like golden sash, golden belt. The castle and the bridge are kind of closely related, their history. The castle was completed in 1608, and they had to build a bunch of bridges several times across the river here because what is now Iwakuni started as like a little kind of castle community, little castle town, and people needed to get back and forth. Villagers over here and samurai near the castle over on this bank. But they needed ways to get back and forth. But every time they built a bridge over the river here, it would get washed away in flooding. So finally this guy Kikko in 1673, he said, let's do it right, let's do this real. He took inspiration from other bridges he had seen and heard about. He said, let's make, instead of wooden pillars in the middle, let's make big, strong stone ones. So they did that in 1673. It was much stronger, and the next year, washed away by flooding. And so he said, okay, what we need to do is we need to put some kind of big stones in the river bed, because the river bed is it's like just washed up sand. It's too brittle. So it wasn't the stone pillars' fault, it was the fact that the river bed was just so sandy. So they put these big kind of stone foundations in the water, and that held, and they also instituted a new tax in town. Every 20 years the bridge must be like totally reinforced and maintained and stuff. And they did that for over 250 years. So they kept the tax system in place for the bridge, and every 20 years they maintained it from the 1600s all the way until World War II. In World War II, they briefly stopped doing that because they just had other things to worry about. And in 1950, the bridge washed away from a typhoon. First time in 270 something years. So they had to rebuild it in 1953. It opened again. And this is the one that I'm on now, the 1953 version. Still made from local wood, or wood chosen, various types of wood, as you see here, chosen for its resiliency and its sturdiness. And actually in 2001 to 2003 they had a much bigger project to really make it strong. So that's pretty much the version today, the 1953 version with the reinforcements from about 25 years ago. So there are two apocryphal stories that you can believe, if you would like to, about how the design of the bridge was inspired. One was that Kikko, the guy who was kind of running the place, he was baking shrimp crackers one day, and they were kind of curling in the heat, you know? So he got the idea, like, wait a minute, that's the answer to our bridge problems. They should be curled like these shrimp crackers. As for what should the actual geometric curve be of the spans here, well, he looked at his Japanese fan. He opened up his fan, his sensu. He looked at it, he's like, just like this. So shrimp crackers and Japanese fans, that's what helped design the bridge, if you want to believe that. Nice little walk, not a long walk, not a long bridge, but excellent because there are no cars or bicycles or anything like that allowed. Some people were in trouble a few years ago because they were riding skateboards on it. They got in big trouble with the police. So here on the other side, we've got more tourist stuff. We got the ice cream shops and various kinds of souvenir shops and a vending machine. I'm in the market for some carbonated water, but I don't see any there. Let's go downstream a little bit and take a look at the bridge from the side. Over on the opposite bank. Looks like a wedding photography thing. I wonder if I'm spoiling their shot. Plenty of ice cream shops here. Just saw a couple of Western tourists come over the hump of the last hump of the bridge, and the guy came down here and he said, "Wow, look at all the flavors of ice cream they have here." And they went right to the ice cream shop. A little 9:30 a.m. ice cream. And to be fair, look at all the flavors of ice cream they have. Anyway, there's a little park here, or kind of a nice park here, big park, and then if you can see behind me, maybe there is a ropeway that goes up. My ticket includes the ropeway. So the ropeway goes up and you can see the castle. The rebuilt castle, it's not the original. The original didn't have a long life. And you might hope for like a sunny, nice day when you're in a place like this, but I think this is perfect because it's June, so it could be hotter. And it's rainy season, so it could be raining, but it's here now like this. It's not warm at all. It's kind of cool. It's super nice weather. I don't mind the gray of the sky because that's kind of cool. It kind of, all the rain from yesterday and all the moist air help all of the atmosphere, everything made out of wood and stone. This is superb and not many people at all. I thought it might be swamped because Japan is such a cheap place for people to travel these days, but this is great. All right, let's go find the ropeway up to the castle. This little bridge span here is a so-called experimental bridge. It's wood, just like the regular bridge, but it's been treated with stuff to try to keep it super weather resistant and water resistant and stuff, and strong. So it's here as, I guess, part of the test. So they encourage people to walk over it, they encourage it to get rained on, and this little canal to flow under it to make sure it can withstand whatever might happen to it. The sign says 13 different things have been done to this bridge to treat it for the elements as a test to see if they would work on the real bridge. I think it's working. Hasn't fallen yet. That bird's doing its morning stretches. Yeah. I do that in the mornings. I'm basically a cormorant. I like the third one. Don't scare the birds by brandishing an umbrella or a cane or by yelling. Brandishing. Brandishing. This little space explains about cormorant fishing in Japan, first documented about 1,300 years ago. So people wanted to catch fish to eat them, and they're like, well, I could go out and like try to catch fish, but I'm a human. Why don't we use birds? Because birds are built just for this, specifically cormorants. So there were 3 different ways they would do it. They would either tie a rope around the cormorant's neck and go out into a boat and send the cormorant to go out catch fish and bring the bird and the fish back, or they would just wade out into the river, the Nishiki River here, which is where the bridge goes over, or they would just let the birds fly free and then train them to come back and give them the fish. It's not done this way these days all that much, except for a few people do it kind of to keep the tradition alive, but now it's mostly nets and stuff. About half an hour ago I said, let's go find the ropeway. I've been distracted by all kinds of things since then. Let's go find the ropeway. Okay, here it is, the ropeway. It goes up to there. It takes about 3 minutes. Okay, what do we got? Every 15 minutes. The ticket gate is on the 2nd floor. Okay.
この度は岩国城ロープウェイをご利用いただきありがとうございます。城下町岩国は1600年吉川広家公が故郷として知られ、世界遺産登録を目指しています。吉川公園内ではありがとうございました。
どうぞ行ってらっしゃいませ。
All right, we got two options. Both routes take the same amount of time, 300 meters, 8 minutes walk. To the left, a slope, paved road. To the right, stairs, poor footing in rainy weather. That lady rode up here with a guy. They had a dog in a cage. They took the dog out of the cage and the guy went one way and she came over here. Well, if she can handle the poor footing in the rainy, slippery weather, then so can I. So along the way, let's talk about the kind of disappointing story of Iwakuni Castle. The location is not the disappointing part. It was built in 1608 as a gift for a guy who had helped the big ruling shogunate with a military thing. Don't know the history entirely, but they gave him this kind of land, so he built a castle on it, 1608. But then in 1615, it was decreed all over Japan that there could only be one castle per domain. And there was already a main castle somewhere else in this domain, so Iwakuni couldn't exist anymore. So in 1615, just a mere 7 years later, they destroyed the castle. And that was that. Until 1962, they rebuilt it just for the old tradition's sake, to reconstitute castle, because there of course is no longer such a rule that there can only be one castle in a domain. There aren't domains anymore. So they rebuilt a little bit of it in 1962. It's really nice. And way up here on Mount Shiroyama, which is Castle Mountain, also called Yokoyama, I think. There's a little chance halfway to abandon the forest path and take the paved one, but I'll continue up this hill. Okay, here is Iwakuni Castle. Born in 1608, died in 1615, reborn 1962. Hi, すみません。ありがとうございます。These are the famous white snakes. It's the other thing famous in Iwakuni. It's a certain kind of rat snake that sometimes is born albino, so They're kind of unusual, kind of mostly known in this area. They occur more in this area for some reason, so they're popular symbols around Iwakuni. And I think there's a shrine somewhere in town dedicated to them. This huge piece of paper right here, taller than I am, is actually from a few hundred years ago, and it's a drawing of the castle, as it was a cross-section of the castle. And nobody knows who drew it, but it's the only existing drawing, like detailed drawing of the castle. And this drawing is what the current rebuild was based on in 1962. This sign explains that the Mori clan was the one who gave the Kikko family this land and the right to build a castle in 1608. They did it, and then in 1615 they said all the castles except one have to be removed, destroyed. The guy who was running this place asked for a special dispensation, saying, please let me keep mine, and they said no. So the same people, Mori, the same people who gave them the castle, or some mosquito, same people that gave them the castle, told them to tore it down. So he's like, all right, so he tore it down. To keep the Mori clan kind of solid and together and everybody, he's like, all right, for the good of the clan, I will destroy my brand new beloved castle. Ooh, cool, look at that. Model of the bridge. Some cool, like really old depictions of the bridge. It's been famous for a long time. Well, that's the best old-timey depiction of the bridge I've seen. That's right out of a 1967 album cover. You've heard of Lake Biwa in the center of Japan, Japan's biggest lake? It's called that because it's shaped like a biwa. Here are two biwas. Very classic old-style bento lunchbox. Okay, here's the tippy top of the castle. Got this room all to myself for a minute or two here. And you can see the Japan Inland Sea, the Seto Inland Sea, all of Iwakuni. You can see the Nishiki River flowing through the city. You can see the bridge, which looks tiny from up here. This is great, and it's air conditioned. So that's a car bridge right there. That's the bridge, of course, the Kintai. Over there is a car bridge. If you can see it back here, that is actually the rail bridge for the Gantoku line. That's how I got to Iwakuni. So in my last video, I rode right along those tracks, but you can't quite see the bridge from there. I did see the castle, but it was tiny. Maybe kind of hard to see on camera, but these are photos from the 1950 destruction. From the typhoon and the flooding. First time the bridge was washed out since 1674. And here's a photo of it from 1877. I'm back at the Ropeway station, but right here, there's like this big mechanical clock thing, with a clock with a mechanism in it, and it's got like cormorants doing something, and apparently in about 10 minutes there's going to be whatever you call it, a performance. The clock is going to do its thing. So these tiles on the ground to show you how far away things are. 1,000 kilometers to Okinawa, 800 meters to Kintai Bridge, 5 kilometers to Iwakuni Station, 720 to Tokyo, and up here, 12,000 kilometers to Everett City, Washington, which is the sister city of Iwakuni. That's it. They just spin around. I thought the fishermen were gonna like pull the fish up and stuff, or the birds. Well, nice song, I guess. Hey, it didn't cost anything. Now where's this ropeway?
見えます錦帯橋は1673年第3代岩国藩主
Alright, that's all I've got left of my ticket. And the final walk over the amazing bridge. I'm gonna miss this place. I mean, I've seen photos and pictures and stuff of this bridge. I've known people who visited it and told me about it over the years. It's nice to actually be here. I don't want to leave. Alright, well that's my look at Iwakuni today. I have to keep my voice down because I'm here at the shrine, a white snake shrine, like this. So let's go over the checklist today. It's kind of in a lot of places where there weren't a lot of things for the checklist, but we'll see what happens. Some: abandoned bicycle, interesting statue or figurine, motor scooter, obachan with cart, notable bird, cartoon drawing on sign, graffiti, hair salon, tree cut into circles, car elevator, beer vending machine. I'm going to walk back, I think, to town, back to the middle of town where my hotel is. If I see anything on the way on the checklist, I'll mark it off. So next I'll be back on the trains tomorrow, and I'll be riding mostly through Hiroshima Prefecture, and it will be along one of the least used lines in the entire nationwide JR network. Many stations have 0 passengers a day. For some reason they're still open, and I will see all of them tomorrow. So join me for that if you want to follow along with more detail on this whole big trip across Honshu, then you can do so on Patreon. And for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Special thanks this week in random order to Samantha, Russell Davis, John Pfeiffer, Thomas G. Ritchie, Matt Kane, Will Phillips, David Richley, and Ray Nichols. Thanks for wandering around Iwakuni with me. Everywhere is worth exploring.